Welcome back everyone to the channel. My name is Peacekeeper. Today for you guys, we are back in some arena breakout and we are going back into the gunsmith. This is part 3 of using one of my basic favorite weapons. So we're going to be going through all of these right now, and there's some that I have not used and there's some that I have used when it comes down to builds. So the first one for the Marksman rifles. The part of Marksman rifles, some of them are really good at long range. A lot of them are, basically all of them are really good at long range, sometimes even short range for close quarter combat, CQC for short, and some are really excel at long range. That's why the Marksman rifles do excel. So the first one we have on the list is going to be the SVDS. I have not personally used this weapon in depth enough, so I don't think I have a build for it. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I don't have a build for the SVDS, so this is one weapon that I have not used so far, but currently, as you guys can see, just the base stats alone are not too bad. The vertical recoil is 43, horizontal recoil is 44, ergonomics 42, accuracy 90. So that's why all of these marksman rifles excel, because of their high accuracy as well as effective range is 170. You don't really want to be hit firing for SVDS, but like I said, the weapon is so powerful just because of the high tier ammo that it does carry as well. So we're just going to look at this, and just you can take off a couple things. You can see how the stats are. You can literally just take off some of these, like the scope, like basically the muzzle. You can add a bigger caliber mag. You can also just basically go in and take off as much as possible on this weapon. You can just slowly go through it. I'm just going to build it how I would want to use a marksman rifle. As you can see, I try to always keep my vertical recoil and horizontal recoil close together. Like I said, I have not used this weapon at all, so I don't know what it would bring. I have watched gameplay of it, but I haven't really used the weapon myself, so I can't really give it like a really good in-depth breakdown on how I do or how I've used this weapon. So basically, when it comes down to scopes, I always want to have, with this gun alone, this gun is really good for longer range. That's why marksman rifles are really good. So with this one, I would use something along the lines of a 1x6. Just for range, or 1x20, 1x7, 2x7, which isn't too bad. So this is just something I just slowly did, and you could say try to keep my vertical and horizontal recoil together as close as possible, basically. But this is just off the top of my head what I would want to really look for in a weapon and how I'm building it. So I did really do anything when it comes down to using this weapon, and if you want to use a silencer, I can. So this is just the SVDS. I probably could make this build a little bit better for sure, but this is literally just me building it and not knowing what I could look for. So this is the SVDS. If you do have a build, share it down below. Why not? Let's move on to the next weapon. So one of the next weapons are really that I like a lot. As you guys can see, the VSS. I actually do like the VSS a lot. The recoil can be a little jumpy, especially if you don't use gyro. I don't use gyro, so I basically just play with my thumbs. If you guys didn't know, I'm a thumb player. But the VSS is really solid. I do like the VSS. I do like the bullets as well, and I do have a build for the VSS because I use the VSS sometimes. So this is the closest enough build that I can get for VSS with 68 recoil, 51 vertical horizontal recoil and vertical recoil, as well as 53 ergonomics, 44 accuracy, hipfire 70, and 60 effective range. With the hipfire, this weapon is really disgusting, especially if you can really hit your shots with the hipfire. It is really strong. It can be really strong, and at range, I wouldn't really point this as a highly ranged weapon. I would put this mainly as mid to QCQ battles, not too far. Like how the SVDS can shine at a longer range. To me, the VSS is mainly, you can use the VSS as an AR, to be honest, because of its quick fire rate and also how the bullets are for it as well. But I would not really use the VSS as like a very long range, like a sniper type range for the VSS, because the VSS is a little bit better for QCQ than long range, in my opinion. Probably depending on how you can, if you can hit your shots or not, and bad. So we never know. With the fire rate though, 850 rounds per minute. So this can really shred with some very nice ammo as well. So let's move on. And oh, my build as well is definitely, I would say, expensive as well. I probably should have showed off the build. But this is the build. You not well, not to be honest, not too expensive when it comes down to parts. The only really big expensive thing is going to be the modern design and probably the tilt grip. Yeah, the tilt grip. So it can definitely get up there in price dependingly. But I do have a VSS here ready. I just broke it down. But the VSS is really, really solid. You can change the scope to, I just slap the 3.5 on it. To be honest, you could run it 4 times, or if you decide to really top fire with it, you could use a longer range, a longer sight. So, and it's a really solid weapon. I do enjoy the VSS. Let's move on to the next weapon. Okay, moving on to the probably one of the best marksman rifles in the game, the MK14. This weapon is very, very solid, especially when it comes down to the tier ammo that this brings. It is disgustingly strong. It really, really is. Let's just go before we really just talk about the that weapon. The ammo that this gun can really carry, and it comes down to M80s, as well as the M110. This gun is very, very strong. You can see it can rock some really nice ammo. You can just see it runs down from the M80s to M62s, M61s. So the caliber of bullet when it can run up to a T6 is disgusting, and with the long range it has, as well as decent fire rate that the marksman rifle has, this gun is such a disgusting gun, and it just being base is really good. 57 vertical recoil, as well as 54 horizontal recoil. Ergonomics is really too solid. It is a marksman rifle, so some of the rifles will be very heavy. So keep that in mind. Accuracy 68, as well as hip fire 54, as well as effective range at 100. So with the marksman rifle, this gun is disgusting. Really, really, really is. This is such a strong weapon. I do have a build for it. This can be used it can be used at a very short range as well. It doesn't just excel at long range. This can be used at a short range. I believe this is an okay build for it. I do have the vertical and horizontal recoil, basically touching each other. They're both at 69. Ergonomics 46. It did go down a little bit. Accuracy 68, as well as hit 552, as well as the effective range at 100. You can change the sight. For what I've seen, I believe this is not a horrible build for it. I was going to use the tilt grip, but when I looked at it, the triangular grip would have been a little bit better. You can switch in between. Even the vertical grip is not too bad. 1771 is not too bad. But I just like to use that one as well. I just slapped a 3.5, especially if I'm using it in QCQ battles. For that mid to like TV or Armory or whatever the case may be. But if you're really going on like Valley or Northridge, a bigger scope would be more ideal than this 3.5. So you could slap the 1x 6x, to be honest, on this one, because it's very, very good at range. This gun, it just excels at everything it does, from QCQ battles to long range. It is really, really solid. So you could slap this one on it, to be honest. Even if you want to, you could even slap a red dot on it, to be honest, at that point. Especially if you're just doing like TV or thing, or even Armory, for the QCQ battles. But this is very, very solid. And if you do want to even run something else scope wise, maybe 2 times. I'm not 100% sure about the 2 times on this marksman rifle, but for me, I do like the 3.5, as well, just because it looks and stuff. I do like the 3.5, but definitely run a bigger scope on this weapon, and this weapon is a beast just because of that T6 ammo. Let's move on to the final weapon. Okay, moving on to the final weapon for the marksman rifle. We have the M110, or the M11 as people say. This weapon is very, very solid. As you guys saw from the MK14, This weapon carries the same ammo as the Marksman rifle, the M61s, M62s, M80s. These bullets are very, very strong. Probably the MK14 as well as the M110 are probably close to the strongest marksman rifles in the game. Well, to me, they are. They have some really good range. Accuracy is very solid, as you can see, accuracy 90. The bullets are one of the best things in the game when it comes down to if you're really wanting to get the full potential of these guns. Those bullets are definitely the best. So you can see vertical recoil 58, horizontal recoil 51. And this is just a base M110. You can literally run a base M110 if you want. Just slap on a better scope if you don't want to use the iron sights. Slap on a better scope and you'll be Gucci with this gun. This gun is very, very solid. I believe I do have a build for this one. I do, and I do use this weapon right here. So I currently have a silencer on it. I do like the silencer sound of the M110, so that's why I run the M110 silencer. I just added on a different barrel as well, and also a handle. So this is what I run, just basically for looks. How it looks, it doesn't look too bad to me. Vertical triangular grip. You could use any of the two, to be honest. I just use this one because it does balance out at 69, which is good. And then I just ran a 1x6 with the scope. And because I'm mainly going to be using longer range fights with this gun, you don't really want to be too close quarters with this weapon. You can, but it gotta be like a decent distance, especially if you're fighting on like Northridge and you're deciding that you want to push in. Definitely this could definitely still work for you. I don't really hit fire with this weapon, so I haven't added any flashlights or haven't really added anything of the sort of like lasers, to be honest, because I don't really hit fire with this weapon. I'm mainly going to be taking long range battles instead of QCQ fights. So this is pretty solid for M110 for the build that I just put together randomly. And it does have a decent amount of mags, just basically a 21 mag. You don't really need to go, you don't have to go a 21 mag. You could just be happy with a 10 mag. But depending on how many mags you do bring in, I tend to bring in 2 extra. So if I'm running, well, depending on the gun, for M110, I would probably run 1 mag extra. So I have 1 mag in the gun and then 1 mag in my rig. So that basically helps. So it'll be 221 mags and I'd be good for this weapon. So very solid build, I would say for the M110. No, I don't have any other worries about these guns. The marksman rifles are very, very strong as well. But I believe that is it for the video. Pretty short little video. We do have other weapons as well. I'll probably get back into the snipers. That will probably be my next video. But hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know down below what are your favorite marksman rifles. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.